Good morning to everyone. I am academic counselor BISWAS. So today MMPH002 Human Resource Development. So today actually I have to take the complete review of the courses, and then just 1 minute. Technical error. Now today I have to cover up the complete blocks. Block 1, there are 3 units. I will touch upon some of the key clips of some of the units, basic ideas, which already we have discussed in previous sessions. So now, then block 2, also there are unit 4, 5, 6, 7. And then block number 3, there are 8, 9, 10. So total, as per the course, there are 12 units. So all the units are important. So those who have already mixed earlier, suppose somehow the previous sessions videos they have not listened, but these videos and today's sessions will be cover up complete things. Here actually I give you some of the overviews, important areas of the units that I will discuss. So now see the first unit, which I have already discussed about the meaning of the HRD. Why the meaning of the HRD? Then importance of the HRD. First, actually, I am to give you the what are the structure was there in the units. Then end of the after introduction of the all the units, then I will give you some of the important area. Again, I will discuss some of the areas of the units. So just to see the what are the unit 1 contains. Now important of the HRD, then how it has come, HRD concept, that part, then mechanism, how to, how to implement, and what are the process, and what type of tools and tackles is required. So that's why some mechanism is required. Then issues and challenges of the HRD, what type of problems normally the managers are facing, maybe when they are implementing or before that when they are planning in the service stage, when they are preparing for the job analysis or for the even in the recruitment time, what type of criteria should be there. So a lot of issues are there. The role of the top management, because the HRD normally it is neglected area earlier. Now it has already developed. Most of the international companies and in the government sector also, they are giving a more and more importance in HRD. Earlier it was not like that. Earlier management was in impressions that is a unnecessary investment of the money. So now the concept has changed, and now the involvement of the management are taking care of this, and they are preparing the strategic management part of the in align with the HRD, align with the objective of the company. They are putting these things, all these things, what type of training is required, what is the needed to develop the human skills, everything are the role play of the, still lot of involvement is required, still role of, that's why the role of the top management in HRD, that part is very important part. Now coming to unit number 2. Unit number 2, where the systems, because HRD cannot do, HRD actually just one of the word actually, human resource development, but within this umbrella, within this HRD umbrella, there are a lot of other sub-units are there. So subsystems, that part is there, what that concept has to be clear. And then some of the commandments are there, and then component. What are the basic component of the HRD? For example, the personal appraisal system. This is one of the component. Training and development, training as such, that is one of the another component. So this is the way we have to see what are the subsystems. Then new subsystem, emerging new subsystems. Earlier, theoretically, some of the system was there, but now it has to be revised. It has to be import some of the more subsystems and updation. Basically, the updation of the HRD through these subsystems. Then designing of the HRD systems. So all these are part of unit number 2, where that's why the unit number 2 title is HRD systems. Now unit number 3, where the HRD process and the methods, how to go ahead for these things. So that concept you have to, because a lot of methods are there. There are different process systems, and then we have to see the HRD climate and what are the variables are there. Because the culture and climate is also a part and parcel of the HRD. Because until unless the good culture is there in the organizations, you cannot implement your HRD functions or HRD training program as such, or so many other things. Then framework. HRD, so everything as which is a framework is required, where till we strictly maintain that frameworks, maybe the planning stage, before the planning, and within the framework, the different stages are there. When you are making the framework, so some of the stages are there. So that part is in the unit 3, some of the things are. Then interlinkages, that HRD process and the outcome of the HRD of the organizations, as the organizations, that interlinkages is required. Really, the training program or whatever the program is there for the HRD calendars, that really it is linked with the company's organization, organization's objectives or not. That is the things are required. Plus, as well as you have to see the outcomes. That what are the after the training or when the skill has developed, some of the employees are skilled now. Really, that skill and that competency are really fruitful of the organization or not. They are really competent or not. That things are to be assessed. So that outcomes are to be see that they are really interlinked or not. Then your unit number 4 is your HRD for the employees. Now you see, in all level, HRD is required for the all levels. So for the employees, what are the criteria should be there? That concept, the meaning of the definition of the HRD, and HRD manager as a HRD managers, or rather we can say, what are the expectations from the HRD managers, or what type of capacity, what type of capability as a HRD manager should have, so that he can run the business and the organizations. Then function of the HRD department for employees, because now here we're talking about the employee oriented. Employee as a HRD department, what type of function they should have. Then finally the conclusions. Now unit number 5 is role of HR managers. As the HR managers, what are the roles? Because HR managers should be tied up with the HRD professionals. So emerging, what are the issues faced by the HRD professionals? Because those who are expert in HRD, even though there are a lot of issues are there, maybe in the time of database management or in the survey time or during the implementation also, because of the diversity, different cultures, and educated employees are there. So how to handle the things, and global system, there should be the skill should be at par the world class. So keeping on these things, so that's why the emerging issues are there. That is already faced by the HRD professionals. Then role of HR professionals in organizations. Then as a HR professionals, what should be the role? Because those are HR professional, then as such, the word is they are knowledge is enough. They already experienced, and they have done a lot of implementation, they have in the project they have already did. That type of skill they have. Now, what role is there? Now they have to train the others. They have to pass on their knowledge to the others. Further on, another 10-20% has to be developed. This type of programs, that type of things are required. So they are actually basically, the unit number 5 is the role of HR managers. Basically, those are professionals and how to deal with these things and what to do. Now, unit number 6 completely discuss about the competency mapping. The competency mapping basically identify the employee's strength, employee's weak point, and what are the threats are there. So essentially the SWOT analysis, basically SWOT, strength, weakness, opportunity, and your threats. So all these things individually and overall. So all together you have to see that you have to identify the first, then you have to see, you have to map out which type of experience is required, what type of training is required, what type of skill is required. That is for the purpose of your further promotion purposes, or maybe posting purposes, or maybe the career development planning purposes. So all these things are things that. Now here a lot of classification is also there. History of competency mapping, the need for the why the competency mapping is required, what will be the benefit for the competency mappings. So definitely a lot of benefits are there, because when you are identifying the employees kunduli, when employees everything, when a database, basically you are preparing the database of the employees. His plus point, his minus points, and negativity, attitudes, experience, everything are to be in a one box, and you can time to time you can fetch the data and you can analyze this based on the his best performance. So there are so many models are there. So that is the part, basically unit number 6, where it has described the total competency mapping. There are big unit. Unit number 6 is very lengthy. I mean, lot of things are there. Then another thing, there are so many models are there, different models are there, and you have to see which the model is appropriate for the particular organizations. And who identifies the competencies? So the question is, definitely this is from the HR department, and the departmental head is also nodal officers of the on behalf of HR. They has to see this. Assessment center is also very important nowadays, because there where all the data are to be accumulated, simulate there, and the operators or the HR functionality, they have to see where the area are very weak and where the area is strength, more strength. So that way they have to, as a comprehensive way they can proceed. As a comprehensive way, not any individual. So it's a mass way they can proceed, and they can give a suggestions. This is the area to be more strengthening is required. Now, another unit number 7 is very important. The analysis of the performance of the career planning. You see that all the units are stages, means in a very chronological order, because you see the unit number 6, then after unit number 7, 8, all are interlinking. Until and unless you have a database, I mean the competency mapping, then only after that you can analyze the performance is a better way. So performance management, what is the performance management? Then system theory, human performance, then the historical background, I mean their behavioral patterns in the business, how it will affect the things. Then concept of the definition of the career, what is the career, meaning of the career. Then career development perspectives, career transitions, then your career problems. So individual strategies and the decision-making process, plus as well as in line with your organization's strategy, that part are to be analyzed. So career trends and the raising the employment trends in the India 2020, that part is also given in your unit number 7. Now, culture and climate. There, first things we should have to identify, clear the concept, the definition of the climate. HRD climate, where the people's behavior, ethics, and their disciplinary rule and regulations, what are the policies, all are influencing your climate and culture also. So climate basically some of the environment is where people can work, and culturally they can in helping nature, they have to help into each other's main objectives of the keeping in view of the total departmental organizational objectives to meet the goal basically. Then how to measure it? HRD climate, have to set some sort of mechanism should be there. Survey of the HRD climate, then what contributions of the HRD climate. These all are basically part of your unit number 8. Now the concept and objectives of the coaching, basically the counseling, the coaching and mentoring. There are these 3 units. Unit number 9, again it is the practices. As the HRD practice, how to practice. Now it is basically the practical. Now before that, all are theoretical. So unit number 1 to unit number 8, we can say this all are your theoretical parts. A lot of theories, models, methods, everything are discussed. Now unit number 9, especially the practicals, because they are practices. So how to implement all these theories? That is through counseling, coaching and mentoring. Counseling is very much required, so that where you are stuck up, your knowledge sharing, everything are through this counseling can be achieved. Coaching is to proceed further. Mentoring to keep in a very sympathetic way or empathy way to reach the particular goals. So mentoring is very important. So all the managers should have a mentors. Any manager, not only giving the instruction to do these things, at the same time, manager should be a coach, manager should be a mentor also. as per the present requirement. So coaching process, there is a lot of process are there. Then your process of mentoring, this part are covered up by the unit number 9. Now unit number 10 basically your industrial relation introductions. Actually now what the way it is industrial relations part is also very important, because here lot of unions are involved, different other activities are there. So that definition we have to understand the industrial relations and where the way it is related, correlations you have to see. Then pressure for the change, because sometimes when the new project is launching, or maybe due to some any technological changes, or maybe your political changes, or maybe the market competitiveness, that's why maybe you have a lot of changes are coming up. So how to deal, how to cope up the situations with a very cohesive manner and very strict way. So that is the pressure is there, the change pressures, how to tackle these things. So HRD is one of the very important. That is the totally practical things. So that's why it is the practices. Because there are a lot of challenges are there. Because sometimes the theories are there, the theory are to be implemented, and that is the basically the practice. And for success of the HRD or organizational development, that a lot of approaches are there. How to succeed, how to make it successful. So that's why some prerequisites area are required. That definitely they should be equipped. Basically, prerequisites means you have to equip for these things to deal with the HID functions, so that you can success easily. So development mechanisms for the improving the industrial relations. So this is the way unit number 10 are contained. Unit number 11 is basically your merging the trend and the perspectives, where the introductions, the bridging trends, business environment, because this is the nowadays is very crucial as a HR manager, as a project manager, or as a CEO, in all levels, you have to understand the business environment. Because until and unless you are not understand the environment of the business, you cannot view, you cannot foresee the situations, how to tackle the things. So based on this, you have to take some strategy how to tackle the business environment. So that is all the challenges, management challenges. So how to cope up this to suppose any contingencies or any unseen problems or uncertainties. So that time, how to tackle the things, and some of the HRD function trends. What are they? Because HRD functions are traditionally a lot of things are there, but now different trends has come because of the globalizations, internationalization, industrializations are going on. Different technology has already involved, so a lot of challenges are there. AI are already launched, machine to languages. So lot of involved. And sectoral trends is also there. Different sectoral trends is because of the different agricultural or other area, and your power everywhere, the green environmentally. So that trends are also involved in this thing. So now unit number 12 are experiences. Understand the HRD functions, analyze the experience of the organizational relating to HRD functions, then highlight the role of the HRD in the organizations, and identify the HRD functions which have a direct or indirect role in the HRD functions. So here actually I am trying to highlight the units there, what the way it is structured and pattern. You can see, if I summarize the things, so all the units are interlinked. If you see initially the definition, the introduction parts, then after that so many models, how it has slowly your mapping and all these things, then practices, and finally the trains. So this is the way it has total course has made and prepared for this particular HRD development purposes. Now I have to more to show you some of the units important areas which I have already discussed. Now I have to point it out some of the things. Now see the first thing. Now here in number 12 is also some of the things are left out, that the HR planning, then your job description, selection of the HRD, training and development. This is all are unit number 12. Talent management, then compensations, employee engagement, ethics and HRD, technology. This is all part of the unit number 12. Because unit 12 is a lot of different new things are there, because these all are totally present scenario. All are that's why the experiences and traits. So that's why the unit is a little bigger other than the other units. Now I have to elaborate a little more some of the units where the really it is important. First things, as I said, what is the HRD? Maybe in my earlier previous sessions you can see where we have to already explain. But still now here actually, again I have to give you some of the exam point of view and for the conceptual view, so that as a word. HRD is based on the two assumptions. It makes sense only when it contributes toward the business environment and the business excellence. And it also strongly believes that good people and good culture make good organizations. Now it is like some sort of slogans, because if you are believe that your organization's all employees are very good, sincere, passionate, then definitely your culture will be also good and you are declared as a good organization. These all are basic parameters are required as a HRD. So this is the way you can see. Now means, what are the meanings of for the building of competency in people, commitment in people, culture in the organizations? These all are HRD means. So this word contains, the HRD word contains all these matters: competencies, commitment, culture. Now some structures are given. Already we have explained in the earlier session also. If you see my previous sessions of IGNOU, you can available in the IGNOU website, in the YouTubes, you can get your part of your component of the HRD systems. Now, primary function of the HRD, unit number 4. I'll just keep some of the main areas. So primary function of the HRD is training and development, as we know, because HRD, when we are talking about the HRD, immediately it is keeping your mind training and development. That is by default, it is automatically come in our mind, automatically, training and development. But within the training and development, lot of areas are there. There are leadership and the executive development, the management of the supervisory levels, even the workman improvement, workman development is also there. Workers development or workman development. So a lot of schemes, lot of throughout the calendar year, most of the companies, they have some calendars, and this month, this type of training is there. Maybe 1 week or 2 weeks, depending on the strength and your course materials. Then organizational development, that's also part of your function of the HRD. Then HRD department is ordered to properly accomplish these 3 basic functions. Now, coming to 3 basic functions. Some of the functions, there are role analysis, your employee operations, performance appraisals. So we can say these are all of the basic things. Apart from that, there are so many other functions also there. The potential appraisals, the counseling, succession planning, your QWL, participative devices, human resource information systems and research. That is all are the different function of the HRD which are to be performed, I mean properly accomplished. Then only you can have a good HRD. Now there are some of the another structures where some of the primary functions and some of the secondary functions of the HRD. Primary functions basically training development, career development, and organization. There are three aspects of there which are the primary functions. First things, employee, for the employee development purposes, that is your training and development. Is one of the functions where everybody are trained from top to bottom. Everybody has to be trained throughout the years. Lot of programs are there. Career development should be one of the primary functions because people should know after 5 years where I will be. I will be manager or chief manager or DGM when I will be. So that career development should be there, and accordingly, lot of activities are also to be there. Then overall organizational development. So this is all of the primary function of the HRD. When you are talking about the HRD, the three things are keeping in mind as a primary functions: training and development, career planning, and career development, and your organizational development. Now, some of the secondary functions also place. Which are the secondary functions? It is the supporting functions. We can see auxiliary or the secondary. This is the role analysis, then your performance, potential analysis, appraisal systems. These are all are your secondary functions, which are really help to the primary functions. All the secondary functions are really, it will be helping to or giving a highlight to the particular primary functions. Now, unit number 6, where the competency mappings. See here actually the competency mapping, some classification are there. So the technical and or the functionals. So business awareness, then your organizational awareness, technical skills, and external awareness. So here main things basically see the awareness. Most of the emphasize on the awareness. This is basically the A, classified as A, awareness basically. So then after that, in the B, there is a managerial skills. First thing is awareness, then skill. Now we are talking about the classification of the competencies. So competencies, first things, first you have to develop some of the awareness. Which are the awareness? In this case, your business awareness, organizational awareness, technical awareness, external awareness. First, you have to give you some preliminary, or we can say the first stage, are awareness. Then after that, managerial skills, where the customers oriented skills are required. How to deal with the customers, how to behave with the customers. Then planning the skills. What type of skills is needed? Then cross-functional perspectives, concern for the excellences, judgment, leaderships, delegating authorities and assisting the organizations, and risk takings. How much risk you can take? Well, this is part of your leadership skill basically. So all are the managerial skills. So now after the awareness, second phase or the second criteria or classification is equal to skills. So different skills. Now third is your human attributes. And human attributes are coming through communication. So you have a robust, very secure and trustfully communication systems where people can bidirectionally talk to each other, all the notifications. Then only awareness and your skill can be successful. Communication is failed means nothing can be done. So communication is very important in any organizations. So network is very required through this email, through this notice board, or some of your social medias. Through this way, you can have an individual channel for the organizations where people can access the data, informations, circular, notice. So done some land system or something. So every company should have a robust and very fast, trustfully communication systems. Then teamwork and interpersonal effectiveness is another attributes. Because teamwork is required because where all the strength, energy can be accumulated, and basically all the energies will be synergized because it will be synergized particular target. Integrity, you have to maintain the integrity. It is all a part of your human attributes, and transparency of the focus while interacting with the people. So transparency is very required where basically the honesty, and there should not be any corruptions, and you are saying that is a correct, and final. There is no ifs and buts. So that you have to focus on the interaction with people. When you are interacting, there should not be any bluff, any misunderstanding. So this is all are the human attributes. So this is the area, which are the areas I'm talking: communication, teamwork, integrity, attachment. Everything has to be part of your competencies. This is all third classification of the competencies. Now coming to assessment centers. Now see awareness, skilling, then your attribution, human attributes. After that, all these things should be some of the centers. Some centers should be there where you can assess it. Yes, really that persons, that individual are really aware or not. Then he has communicated or not everything. Then that what are the required skill he has achieved or not. Yeah, if he has achieved, very good. You have not achieved, then something has to be a question mark. You have to develop further. And finally, your whatever they say, that is your human attributes. So that particular individuals, his awareness is your then your his awareness, then your attributes and skills, everything are they have or not. Actually, somehow actually be as a recording, some record data should be there. So that's why it is required some of the assessment centers where everything will be collected and recorded. And somebody has to analyze the things, make a curve or something, because nowadays the data analysis system is very important. Now, so a lot of tools are there, a lot of software is available. So then very easily you can decide it. The full-fledged assessment center should be where deciding the purpose. That's why I'm talking the deciding the purpose. So then purpose you can decide. No, this person to be transferred, this person to be promoted, this person to be further go for the training or retraining. Then you can assess the things. Identify the characteristics of the dimension to be measured. Then you can also identify from that center, that from based on this database, you can analyze the things, you can measure the things. And finally, identify the assessment tools of the techniques. Now, there are most common, some of the things, the basket exercise. There are a lot of exercises are also there. You can say the game plans are also there. Role play, then leadership, group discussions, behavioral event, interview, oral presentations, written case analysis. Through this way, also you can assess the things. Yes, really, okay, particular employee, you can awareness part you have given through this training program. Then he has killed some of the things, again some training and program. Then finally, just to see that he has communicated properly or not. Then finally, you can have a judge. You can have a test some things, exam. So okay, please give a presentation. Last 3 months you have a trained. You have already aware everything. Now you give some presentation. Let's see how best you have aware of all this. You are really knowledgeable or not. That is the way you can assess the things. If you can give a grading, you can some marks, okay, out of 10, maybe 8, 10, or 9, or 5. So range you can fix it, and accordingly you have to give it class A, class B, class C. That's the way you can measure the things. So that is basically the purpose of the assessment centers. Now, even when it is your analysis of the performance of the career plan, you see the maximization of the employee's potentiality. What are the performance basically through this performance management, you have to increase this potential. You have to increase their competencies and the expected behaviors. So based on these, this some of the I can say again, it is a lot of database only. Some of the different formats are there. Personal performance appraisal systems. Through this way, you can see the employee's knowledge, employee's skill, what the role he has, what type of duty he has performed throughout the financial year, what is the accountability. So then you can judge his competency and expected behaviors. And some proactive techniques are to be there and real time, because the performance appraisal system should be real time. Maybe you are getting the data of the persons after 1-2 years. You are getting these things. So that is it's a real time performance appraisal should be required. Then only you can take quick decisions, and you can correct it the things, review and correct it times. The profitability increases, because this is the way you can increase this profitability of things and engagement further, and interest and increasing the productivity also. And further career development, then your personal, corporate, organizational growth, career planning, basically to the process of changing the employment status. So that is the career planning. Means now you are engineer, after 3 years you will be senior engineer, then after 4 years maybe you are deputy managers or managers. This is the way you have to plan. So that status will be growing. I mean the growth should be there. So career path, career development, everything are part of our career planning. So first you have to plan. There are short time, long term planning should be there. And accordingly you have to act it. Now the problem with the top managers in the lack of communications and other interpersonal skills. Here actually it has been found that a lot of survey has done, because of the top managers occupied a lot of other activities, strategy planning and all these things. They are sometimes the communications are not reached to the bottoms. That's why there's some interpersonal skills are basically the problem sometimes. The top managers are not communicated in the bottom levels sometimes. So that's why some seminars, workshops are required continuously, forums, now the Zoom meetings, most of the companies are doing. They're through these Zoom meetings or some of the Google Meet, they have to interact with these things, even in the holidays or something. What are the factors? So that what are the factors are hindering the future career advancements? So you can regularly interact with them. Some problems areas are stress, definitely up to things of emotional stress. Then family aspects are also there, unknown potentials, the initial performance. So assessment and the feedback, these are all are the lacking area, some of the problems where the area are to be strengthened is required. More attention is required. Stagnations, moral dilemmas, yes, some empathy, sympathy are required. So that type sale, the HRD sale are to be seen, so that how best they can do it, compensation package or something. Now climate, making the recognize their strengths and the weakness through the feedback. Then trust is another part. I've just bold and highlighted the things which are the part of your climate and culture. Then collaborative nature should be collaborative natures with each others. Team spirit. Without team spirit, you cannot develop the cultures. The climate cannot change. Tendency to discouraging the stereotype works means same work you are doing, there is no innovative, no encouragement. Same thing, we are expertising stereotype works, but that is not sufficient, because in the present scenario we have to have some more initiatives for the creations of the required. You have to innovate little things. So that's why you have to discourage the stereotype works. Manager has to encourage the new things and discourage the stereotype works. supportive, because in the climate or culture, then there managers should be very supportive managers. If you are any problems, you are seeing some of the employees are facing a problems, you have to come forward and help. What the area he is lacking, you have to give it some boost. Then your counseling, coaching, and mentoring, as I said, some of the you have to, that potentiality as a manager, you have to helping tendency should be there. Yes, my employees are. You have to realize the things, what are the problem he is facing, and accordingly you have to do it so that his potential will be intact, will remain. It should not suffer his work, day-to-day work. So helping him to understand himself, and his strength and weakness, so that accordingly you have to put the doctors are giving some medicines or some recommended for the test. Same thing the manager has to do for his subordinate to look after him. What is the problem he is facing? Maybe personal problems, stress problems, or the lack of knowledge. So you have to provide the according. Understand the environment is very important. Helping him and have the better understanding. Increasing the personal and interpersonal effectiveness through the effective feedback. So interactions is required. You have to sometimes counseling. Counseling is required with your subordinate. What is the problem is going on? Day-to-day discussions and updates. Basically, the updations and feedback. Now, what are the objectives of the coaching? Which objective is for the further improvement, to set the goals for further improvements and generate the alternatives for dealing with his problems. Because somebody are facing a problem, some employee are facing a problem. So only identify is not sufficient. Suppose you have identified the problems, but main thing is you have to generate the alternative solutions, and which are the best solutions for him or her, that you have to provide this. An action plan, you have to prepare the action plan for that. Problem will be there, but only identifying the problem is not enough. Not treating away, because when you are doing everything particular, help in such a way, you have to see is wrong or bad things, behaviorally he is not working or reluctant to do the work, still you cannot treat. You have to understand, you have to give some idea of why it will be affecting your futures. If you are reluctant to do these things, or you are not getting the knowledge of particular real-time requirement, so then it will be hamper your further careers. So this is the way you have to give some change mindsets. Set of mind has to be required without threatening. Then empathic atmospheres. Providing the empathic atmosphere for the sharing and discussing his tensions, conflicts, concerns. You have to feel his problems as human and act just like. Then only sharing, you have to share the more, just like a cloning or maybe the replica. What he is feeling, same thing, you have to also feel it and do better how to do it. That is basically the empathic way you have to decide. Now, objectives of the mentoring. Now coming to mentoring. Mentoring is people to share their concerns and get both moral support and guidance. Now here actually, in the mentoring work, there are two things are there. Support as well as the guidance. If you compare with the coaching and the coacher, but in mentor, main difference is the guidance, because they are actually, coach is particularly targeted as coaching this person's technical skill is achieved, fine. But in the case of mentor, that is not sufficient. You have to give a guidance also till the he has achieved and should be retained. So mentoring is very, I think, is a number one. rather than the coaches. So establish the relationship of the trust, then persons concerned with the problems, alternative solutions, experiences, sharing the experiences, then emotional needs, and develop the your long-lasting personal and the informal relationship. Here, actually, the last 7 point, I try to emphasize more. Long last means mentoring. You cannot forget about it because mentor is such a thing, long time. Even though mentor is part is over and he has not mentored, still you have to keep in mind and you can go further based on his the way he has given the guidance. So that things are, you have to develop it. Even though you are not mentoring or you are not avoiding things, still yes, carry over. You should carry over the things. And informal relationships are also important. Sometimes away from the main structure, you have to away from this main structural formal words, and then you have to informal way also you have to discuss to create the relationships. Then empowering is also important. You have to empower the things as a part of coaching and mentoring, helping the coaching. Then concern the empathy, maturity, same thing, identifying the development needs also. And emergence of new technology. Some of the changes are relevant both the management and the unions because the emergence of new technology has come up. So you have to accept the computerizations and the creating new pressures in the management as well as the union also. The new worker is causing anxiety because the new worker is always anxiety, both the management and the unions, because the fear of job loss, that is always there in mind. If I change these things, maybe I'll be no more required in the company. So all these things are part of your the pressures are coming in the, when you are implementing the changes. Now, innovative personal practices are quality of the work-life program practiced by the many organizations, and so all these things are way are required need for the integration of HRD and IR. Then only you can have a good balance. Pressure from the government for workers' participation in the management, because nowadays participation of the workers' unions are must, because when you are taking any management decisions, they have to avoid all these things. Their concerns are required. Now, some of the prerequisites for the successful HRD, because some of the things are required. Policy, then your philosophy of the values, agreed policies, interpersonal skills, all are the required for the different purposes. Then economic environment, as I say, the emerging trends and the prospect. Lot of economic environment has come. The government has also guaranteed some 100 days working, even in the time of your Corona COVID time. Also, we have seen some. Then Manrega scheme, some of the initiative, lot of initiatives has taken with the governments, and political, legal movement, all thing are demographic environment, technologies also. So all are part of your economic environment. Then is some of the experiences. The experiences of the organizations across the world and the India highlights the role of the HRD in relation to human resource management and the development. So these are presented below in the form of the case studies. There's the HR, your planning of the workforce planning, and the job descriptions, recruitment, training, development, performance appraisals. All are the different experiences which are need to be strained more and see the world latest state of the practices. What are the best practices that has to be adopted as per your positions. Then diversity, some of the areas, the compensation development, because salary has to be increased time to time depending on the market. Diversity management is also because a lot of participations, because women employment, women participations are more nowadays. Different level of workers, different cultural based, even educated workers are coming. Earlier, 7th or 8th pass something. Now, qualified workers are coming. So then their mentality will be different. Their expectation will be different. So there also you have to tackle it. So diversity management is very crucial nowadays. Different languages, barriers are there, languages. And inclusions, because everything you have to include it. Different areas, different cultural areas, peoples, even in the your physical changes, physical ability to employees are also involving. You have to CBS backward classes, and so those who are poor. So inclusions are very much required. Not only as you can develop your social development basically. In employee engagement should not be ideal, should not be overloaded, and somebody. So there equal balance of work is also important, and you have to equal workload is also important. So ethics are another important part. So disciplinary actions, multiple cultures, diversity-oriented operations. Ethics are important. In HR analysis, you have to, as a HR analyst, you have to real-time research will be required so that you can have a good idea of how much volumes are there and how much velocity and the variety of your mapped for the correlations and the actionable intelligence parts. So everything are especially short your so AI tools are there. Software is available nowadays. You can correlate things. So you should have a good, trustfully database is required. Then only you can have a good idea of all this. So HR and AI are now part and parcel, because all the HR people are required to develop their skills with AI tools. So now these things are coming, because now the present scenario, or maybe the forthcoming another 5, 10 years, you have to have a technology also sound, even though you are a HR manager. So you should know the AI tools, how to handle that things. Now some of the pattern of the questions see as per the HRD when they explain the HRD matrix in the things. That type of questions are normally coming. HRD process and HRD climate variables, describe the mechanisms, issues and the challenges of the HRD, highlight the role of a top management in HRD. Just now we have already discussed some of the little bit. The meaning of the pursuit of the career planning, that type of questions, and describe the what career transition is. Then emerging issues faced by the HRD professionals. And this all are the type of questions are coming from the different units. Then describe the concept of and the coaching, process of coaching, and discuss the component of the coaching process. Then interconnecting between the human resource development and the industry relations. So this is the area of the questions like this. Mentoring, explain the process of the mentoring and use the importance of the HRD. Highlight the trend of the HRD functions. Then you highlight the HRD functions in the helping of the sector example. So various type of examples, question patterns are like this. You can go through this. More questions I have. It is available in the website also. In the IGNOU website, you can download it and you can go through this. And you can prepare from this type of pictures itself. And what are the sessions, videos also are helping. Explain the meaning of and evolution of the important HRD. Then HRD systems, which I have shown some of the diagrams also. There, what are the component, 10 comments, and list the commandments of the HRD systems. Question number 2, that is where the commandments. There are 10 commandments. So that structure will help you that to write these questions. The competency mapping. There are some small questions are there. All are important. Then primary function of the HRD. That diagram also I have shown the primary and secondary. Primary training and development, career planning, the organizational planning. So these all are the primary function and secondary function also. You can explain the primary function only if it is there, especially define the written in the question primary function. Then you have to explain that three box areas. So this is the way you can answer it. Then your concept of the HRD climate. Just now I finished up some of this HRD climates. That is the answer. Actually, what I am showing before that, just few minutes back, what are the slides is all the answer of the questions. What are the questions? The answer already I have explained already. So then development approaches of the investigation, then identify the management challenge with respect to emerging trends in the HRD. Highlight the role of the HRD managers in the changing business environment. So this is all our typical questions from the past 2-3 years. It has already examined. I mean, the questions are there. If you follow these type of questions, then definitely it will be a platform. So now this is the way I try to explain. I think to cover up within this session the complete courses, give you some of the ideas, all the units, and explain some of the things. That is totally the review. If you are listening carefully in this video after that, also it will be available in the YouTube. Then I think hopefully it will be very helpful to all the students, and for all the learners can be benefited for this session. So okay, I think thank you very much. चलो स्टार्ट कर लो बस आगे तो